The following is a presentation of Wareham Gatemen Baseball, brought to you by the Gatemen Baseball Network in conjunction with the Cape Cod Baseball League.
As the summer of 2017 continues, the Wareham Gatemen are right in the middle of the Cape Cod Baseball League playoff race.
Line shot by Anchia. This one is back. It's far. Bye-bye baseball. A two-run homer for Jake Anchia.
Drives this one to deep right field. Heading back is Pompey. He's at the track, leaps and makes the play. What a play by Tristan Pompey.
Call strike three in the inside part. Griffin Roberts
Swings and drives this one deep to left field. That one is into the trees.
With stellar pitching and timely hitting, the Gatemen have taken the West Division by storm.
The 0-2 from Fioli. Called strike three.
Throwing back to first base, McIver, and the tag is in time from Sable.
sends it to right field. Going back is the right fielder. That one's gone. Tanner Dodson.
And now, the push for Wareham's 8th league championship heats up.
Duran swings and hits this one through the gap. Rounding third and heading for home is John Topa. The throw to the plate is not in time, and Topa will score.
The breaking ball called strike three. Dalton Roach strikes out the side.
1-2. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts for Brett Canine.
Lines it right back up the middle for a base hit. On the first pitch, Baird rounds third. He's going to come home and score.
Metz sends it down the right field line. It's in for a base hit. Rounding third. Coming home is Duran. He will score. And the Wareham Gatemen are now winners of 5 in a row. The Gatemen walk it off at Spillane Field. How do you like that?
It's Wareham Gatemen Baseball, and it's live on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Win and they're in. That's the motto tonight for the Wareham Gatemen as they take on the division rivals, the Falmouth Commodores from Spillane Field. Hello everyone, I'm Connor Federico, joined by Jacob Toby and the entirety of our Gatemen Baseball Network staff. Matthew Wieselthayer, our producer on hand tonight, Matt Feld, we might hear from him later, and our sideline reporter, Claudia Chikamian. What a beautiful night for baseball. In the mid-80s today, the sun was beating down. It's a little bit hot. It'll cool down eventually, but the playoff race and the Gatemen trying to get to that point, that's heating up.
Yeah, they win and they're in, like you said, Connor Federico, and this is a tough Falmouth Commodores team who the Gatemen are 1-3-1 against this season. Falmouth, of course, 43 points, first in the Western Division. They're only 2 points above of Katuitt right now. They've been flip-flopping the past week or so, but no doubt about it, this lineup is filled with power. Guys like Clayton Daniel at the top of the lineup as well can really set the tone early. Austin Langworthy, who just got here about 2 weeks ago, he is also very, very good at setting the top of the lineup as well. So should be a fun one tonight at Spillane.
Jacob, I feel like the record for the Wareham Gatemen against the Falmouth Commodores, it's 1-3-1. That's the real record. I feel as if it could just as easily be 0-5 or 5-0. How do they turn this one into a win tonight after losing so many close games?
I mean, score early. You saw Blake Sable hit a home run in the second inning, and they were up in that game 1-0 early on, and then in the game on July 8th, they had 4 runs in the second inning, Wareham did, and they were up 4-0 and then. So, I mean, score early on, get your pitcher, Justin Montgomery, get him some run support early because that's where his confidence will come from. He struggled the past couple outings, so get him some run support.
Exciting night tonight at Spillane Field. Good crowd on hand as the Gatemen are trying to win and their 19th game of the season. It would clinch a playoff spot. We're getting ready for the national anthem, a barbershop quartet tonight. We'll see how they stack up against the likes of our own Jacob Toby.
They are definitely better, I would say.
Well, I mean, they have the advantage of more voices.
They do.
We'll see. We'll critique afterwards.
Yeah.
Here's the national anthem, ladies and gentlemen.
Please welcome the Generations Barbershop Quartet. The Generations Quartet has been in existence for 10 years, with 200 years of barbershop quartet singing. Each singer is a member of the Narragansett Bay Barbershop Chorus, a 15-time district winner, which includes New England, upstate New York, and eastern Canada, and hoping for number 16 this October. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Generations Barbershop Quartet.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early
Starting out the ceremonial first
Very
pitch
nice.
tonight is
Very
Malcolm
nice.
Montero.
Some unexpected harmonies, but I felt like they all worked perfectly when they decided to throw them in.
Yeah, I mean, I give them a lot of credit, and I wish I could do that. Maybe I could if I had some practice, but no, those guys are great. One of my favorite anthems of all time are barbershop quartet anthems.
And an arrangement I never heard before. That was very nice.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting ready for the first pitch between the Falmouth Commodores and the Wareham Gatemen. A nice guest first pitch right here at Spillane Field. Connor Federico and Jacob Toby taking you through tonight's contest, and we'll start by going through the Wareham Gatemen infield, in the field. In the outfield, it's John Topa. In left field, in center, Stephen Kwan. In right, Robbie Metz. In the infield from left to right, Kyle Kasser, Ben Baird, Jaron Duran, and Blake Sable. And doing the catching is Jake Antia. His pitcher will be Justin Montgomery.
Well, I mean, Justin Montgomery, he has struggled the past couple outings. The 6'6", 200-pound right-handed pitcher out of Cal Baptist, and yes, he has struggled. The last time versus Brewster, had to start, couldn't get out of the second inning, which probably was the most surprising thing to me that's happened this season alone. Other than the 7-game losing streak for the Gatemen, I did not expect Montgomery to only last 1 1/3 innings, but I know he'll bounce back from it after, you know, the start versus Brewster, and then he had another start in relief versus Brewster before the All-Star game. So first start in a little while, so we'll see how he does today, but I think he should come out, pitch strikes early on in the count with the fastball. He should be good.
The lineup for the Falmouth Commodores tonight goes as such. Batting first, the second baseman, Clayton Daniel. He is hot. Batting second, Austin Langworthy from Florida, plays left field. Batting third, Trevor Larnick, the right fielder, has been a Gateman killer. Josh Bro, another Gateman killer. He bats fourth tonight and plays first base. Batting fifth, George Yancha is the third baseman. Logan Davidson from Clemson wears number 6. He bats sixth, and he'll play the sixth spot, the shortstop position. Adley Rutschman was one of Sam Corman's players to watch tonight in our pregame. He bats seventh, and he is the catcher. Josh Watson bats eighth. He is the DH tonight, and batting ninth in center field, the Gateman killers of all Gateman killers, Hunter Steinmetz. This is a Falmouth lineup that has done well this season. First place in the West. They've done very well against the Gatemen.
Yeah, they have, and Hunter Steinmetz, he leads the league in stolen bases with 16. He's batting ninth. I mean, come on, man. The league leader in stolen bases, batting ninth. That's because you have Clayton Daniel at the top of your lineup. He is such a good tone setter for your team. I've said it before on other broadcasts. He reminds me of a guy by the name of Dustin Pedroia for the Boston Red Sox, the second baseman. He's short, but he's sturdy, he's strong, he's gutsy. He's a pest just like Stephen Kwan is.
Out of the 42 stolen bases this season for the Falmouth Commodores, 16 of them have been stolen by Hunter Steinmetz from Missouri State.
Wow.
We talked about the almost absurdity of him hitting in that 9 spot, but that's because you have Langworthy, Larnick, Bro, Yancha in that middle part of the lineup. You even go down to 6 for Davidson. These are all really dangerous hitters. The throw on down to second. The Gatemen in their cranberry red uniforms tonight. Justin Montgomery receives the ball, and he is ready to go.
The second baseman
From Norco, California, and through Cal Baptist University, Justin Montgomery finds his way here to the pitcher's mound for his 7th start of the summer for the Wareham Gatemen. He faces Clayton Daniel of the Falmouth Commodores. And we are ready for baseball. Montgomery out of the windup, called strike one, and we are underway at Spillane Field. The umpires tonight, Joseph Peters behind the plate, Larry Rosenberg at first, P.J. McConville on the left side. Big breaking ball misses high, and the count's now 1-1.
Like I said, it's important for Montgomery get ahead early with the fastball. That's what wasn't working in his last start.
Daniel hitting .317 this season. He comes from Jacksonville State and fouls this pitch off. Now Montgomery in the driver's seat, ahead 1-2.
Yeah, 10th in the league in batting average. Clayton Daniel with the .317. Just a pest.
This one just misses. The last for a check swing. Daniel held up. Daniel, a multi-sport athlete in high school from Gunnersville, Alabama. He was named the team MVP in both football and baseball his junior year. And he bloops this one out to right field. It's going foul, and that's where it'll land. Count remains 2-2. Montgomery stands 6'5", 200 pounds on the mound for the Gatemen. You can expect a fastball between 90 and 93 miles an hour, and then it's that curveball and that changeup that really complement his other pitch, his fastball.
Yeah, the curveball is bread and butter.
Montgomery's 2-2 out of the windup to Clayton Daniel. Lined into left field. Topa looking back. He's at the wall. It's over the fence. A leadoff home run for Clayton Daniel. Falmouth leads 1-0.
Wow. That's Daniel's second home run in the season, not a guy that has a lot of power. I said he's one of the smaller guys. He's 5'7", and he jacks it to left on the 2-2 count. Hanging breaking ball right there.
That's Daniel's second home run of the season against the Gatemen. It's Daniel's second home run of the season, period. So he's getting it done against the Gatemen pitchers. And now Wareham finds itself in a 1-0 hole. Called strike to Austin Langworthy out of Florida. Langworthy, this is his second game against the Gatemen this summer. 1 for 3 against Wareham. Montgomery looking to bounce back after giving up the leadoff home run. Count moves to 1-1. Now 1-2 after that foul ball. The Gatemen, the situation is they have 37 points. Hyannis behind them has 33. Hyannis right now plays against the Harwich Mariners, but the situation is simple tonight. Win and you're in for the Gatemen. Ground ball back up the middle. Baird on a one-hop to first. One away.
Yeah, Montgomery's problem has been the early innings. The last couple starts, remember, on the 14th of July versus the Mariners in the 4-3 loss. 3 runs in the first inning, a couple on an error, but one because he walked Jonathan India. So have to settle down in these early innings to give yourself some momentum.
Montgomery, a 3-1 record this summer, a 2.46 ERA through the first couple of starts. That was a 3-0 record with a perfect 0 ERA. Line shot to left. Topa on his horse, looking up, and it bounces off the wall. Fields it with a bare hand. He throws on to Baird, and it'll be a double for Trevor Larnick. So Daniel pulls the ball to left. Larnick hits it the opposite way. Falmouth's offense really moving.
And they're swinging early in the count. Nice job from Larnick to drive this ball over the head of Topa out and left. And again, they're going at Montgomery early on. They've noticed that he's struggled in the last couple starts in the beginning of games, so they're trying to continue that trend.
Here's Josh Bro, 4-hitter tonight for the Commodores. Montgomery working out of the stretch for the first time. Nobody holding on the runner Larnick at second. Anchia picks this one out of the dirt. Anchia's been the DH for the past 2 nights. Now it's Willie McIver's turn, but other than that, this Gatemen order remains the same, and in the defense for 3 consecutive games. They're 2-0 in this stretch. High pop-up, and there's no room for Sable to get it.
You can keep that foul ball, courtesy of attorney Glenn Hannington and his daughter Tevin.
So Montgomery might not be the start that he's looking for. It hasn't been recently for the Gatemen either. In the win against Orleans, they struck in the 6th and the 7th, 3 runs in the 6th, 2 runs in the 7th. And then last night against Gatuit, 1 run each in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings en route to a comeback victory. Larnick on second. Now the count is 1-2. Montgomery, he's given up 2 hits and a home run in 3 batters, but he has gotten ahead in the count.
Yeah, he's ahead here, and it's really surprising. He starts the All-Star game, and you think he'll continue on the path Well, that's not the case sometimes for these Cape League players. They're going to go through some growing pains, and Montgomery's seeing that right now, but it's about how you rebound, and especially in a crucial game like this heading towards the playoffs. What can you do for your team?
Montgomery breathes, sets, fires, ground ball up the middle. Be a tough play for Baird on the slow bro, and he got him by a mile. That's the second out.
The third baseman, number
The runner
3,
Larnick moves over to third on the play.
from Texas A&M.
And here comes George Yancha.
We saw Baird have an error last night versus the Cavaliers, but we also saw him make a stellar defensive play, spinning, going away from the first base bag. But a lot of his throws were to the left of first base, and Blake Sable had to do a lot of stretching yesterday.
Yancha fouls this one away. Falmouth swinging early in the counts. Tough day to be wearing all black, and we saw them in batting practice. Their entire batting practice outfit is black, so hot day didn't make that any more comfortable. 0-2 now.
I was shagging balls yesterday during BP and thought about coming out today to do it. No, sir. Too hot.
Too hot, for sure. Yancha out of Georgetown, Texas. Calls time. Montgomery's 0-2. Curveball. Bounced to Baird. Sable picks it out of the dirt. And that's the third out of the inning. Stellar work by Blake Sable with the glove. And that will end the first inning, but not before a solo leadoff shot from Clayton Daniel. Goes 6-3, 6-3, 6-3. We'll head to the bottom of the first inning on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgent-care. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgent-care.
The Down East Lobster Roll combos are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Bottom of the first inning, the Gatemen batting order goes with Stephen Kwan in the leadoff spot. Robbie Metz in the 2-hole. He had the walk-off double last night. Kyle Kasser bats third. He is on a hot streak, folks. Jaron Duran bats fourth. John Topa in the 5-hole. Jake Anchia catches tonight, bats sixth. Willie McIver is the DH, bats seventh. In the 8-hole, Blake Sable. And rounding out the lineup in the 9th spot, Ben Baird. The pitcher they will face, Cody Shelton, number 11 for the Falmouth Commodores, a recent arrival.
Recent, yes, sir. He made his first appearance July 25th versus the Bravos at the Gov. A 6-2 win for Falmouth. Went 4 1/3. 3 hits, no earned. A good first start for the Commodores.
The Gatemen Baseball Network would like to remind you you can contact us anytime by emailing pressbox@gatemen.org. Please feel free to send us your questions or comments, and we'll make sure to address them as soon as possible. Make sure you're keeping up with all the Gatemen action 24/7 by following the Wareham Gatemen on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Ball 1, Kwan shows bunt, as he always does, and now his home pants are ripped too.
Man.
Both his home and away pants. 2-0.
Well, your host mother, Mary Chaplin, does the pants, doesn't she?
She fixes all the pants.
She fixes them.
There are plenty of pants that the Gatemen could wear. I think Quan is choosing to go with the rip pants look, and Shelton might be a bit nervous. He's down 3-0 to the first batter. Quan probably not going to give us a leadoff home run. He even said in the pregame show he really doesn't possess that kind of power for Spillane Field. First strike from Shelton.
Quan's last leadoff single was on the 27th versus Brewster.
Now the count 3-2. Shelton, a nice fastball right there. Out of Samford University. And out of the windup is 3-2. Lined on a hop to the shortstop Davidson. And that's the first out of the inning.
Quan now 0 for 5 in his last couple games in the leadoff spot. And he's just been so good all season long in the number 1 spot. And here comes Robbie Metz, a guy that he is red hot in the late innings at Spillane Field this season.
He's hot in general, 290 average, 3 RBIs in his last 10. Crowds the plate and fouls back, strike 1.
And it's great that these moments for him are happening in this stretch run to the playoffs. You're going to need a guy to count on when the game's at its highest point, most important point.
Count 0-2. Metz in the 2-hole for the 3rd straight night, but most of the season he's been batting 3rd or I'm sorry, 9th. Don't know where I got 3rd from, either 9th or 5th for the most part.
Well, I think you got 3rd from, meaning he's never batted 3rd or 4th for the Gatemen in his 2 years. Other than that, every other position he's batted in, basically.
We'll get a 1-2 coming up in the Cranberry Reds for the Gatemen tonight. Now 2-2. Blocked by Rutschman, the starting catcher, has struggled recently for the Falmouth Commodores, has struggled since coming here this summer, but had a great year for Oregon State. Oof, and that one just misses. Metz almost rung up. Instead, the count moves to 3-2. Metz, an All-Atlantic 10 second teamer this spring. Takes called strike 3. He was running a first base. Instead, he's walking back to the dugout. That pitch really close on the inside corner. Now it's 2 outs and nobody on.
Joseph Peters, home plate umpire, ringing up Metz. It was close. Nice pitch either way, though, from Cody Shelton. Freezing up Metz on the inside part. But Metz thought he was heading down to first.
Metz crowding the plate, too. Had to suck in his gut on that one. Kyle Kasser takes ball 1 low. Kasser hitting .462, has 2 RBIs against Falmouth this season. That's the best average against the Commodores among active Gatemen. Count now 1-1. Ground ball to Daniel. Fields it nicely and makes a good throw. The Gatemen go down 1-2-3 in the first inning. After 1 inning, the Gatemen trail the Falmouth Commodores 1-0 on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Listen to the game wherever you go with the Next Radio app. Catch this station's local broadcast or stream all the action right on your phone. Visit the Google Play Store and download the free Next Radio app today.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1991, holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 through 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, plus 400 have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Friendly's Restaurants, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to be the official ice cream of the Cape Cod Baseball League and bring together two of America's favorite pastimes, baseball and ice cream.
Davidson, Rutschman, Watson to lead off the top of the second for the Commodores against Justin Montgomery. Gave up a leadoff home run to Daniel. Called strike one.
A 3-0 lead for the Harwich Mariners over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks at McKeon Park right now. A game we all will be watching closely.
Ground ball to Sable. Tough play, and he beats Davidson to the bag. High chopper, but Sable makes a good play. He's been pretty good over there at first base, and his length, he stands 6'4", certainly helps him, plus his catching experience when he has to go down low.
Yeah, I talked about last night how he really had to stretch yesterday with the throws from Ben Baird coming a little bit to the left of the bag, and he also made a nice scoop play to end the first inning, retiring George Giancha. I've loved what I've seen out of Sable. He's really growing over there as a first baseman.
Adley Rutschman, a switch hitter, bats on the left side. Takes ball one. Cricket pitch there from Montgomery. Rutschman from Oregon State. Was an All Pac-12 honorable mention, an All Corvallis regional team member. Just as a freshman this year for the Beavers, hit .234. Big swing and a miss there. Good in baseball, he has a bright future, but he's also the kickoff man for the Oregon State Beavers football team.
Really?
He averaged 59.5 yards per kick and had 20 touchbacks on the season for the Beavers. Granted, Oregon State football is not very good, but
stats don't lie.
Yeah. 59.5 yards per kickoff.
Very lucky to be able to play two Division I sports.
Huge swing and a miss there, trying to show off the power. And the count now 2-2.
Does that mean there's no fall ball for him in terms of baseball?
I guess not. Depends what his practice schedule's like. For kickers, it's always different. 2-2 in the dirt, count now full. They're not trusting him with the place kicking duties yet. I'm not sure what his plans for the future are, but just the kickoff man for now, which means he has a lot of power. Ball four. That pitch narrowly misses. It looked like Montgomery was trying to put a curveball there on the inside corner, and it just gets a little too far inside.
So does that mean that he's not taking field goals? He's just doing kickoffs?
That's what I have for his freshman year.
Okay. All
this sophomore fall, couldn't tell you. I guess we'll find out. So that's Montgomery's first walk of the evening. Rutschman not a threat to go. And Watson takes ball one. Montgomery not happy about that call. Couldn't tell you where it missed from here. Watson batting 143 against the Gatemen. He swings and misses on that one in the dirt. Watson from TCU batting .238 as a whole. Not as great as he was last year for the Commodores. .298 through 24 games in the 2016 summer. A .400 on base percentage, drew a lot of walks. And strike two, that fastball clipping the inside corner. Looks about as hard as Montgomery can throw it.
Yeah, upwards of 92 to 93. Really important pitch for him to get going.
This one misses. Watson also a switch hitter. So Davidson, Rutschman, and Watson are all switch hitters. And then at the bottom of the lineup, you have a lefty in Steinmetz. Tough part, the bottom of the order for the Commodores for Montgomery. And that's called strike three on the inner half. Montgomery's first of the night.
Center fielder,
And that strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard.
Ring him up. Nice job from Montgomery. Paints the inside part on the lefty Watson. And now still a runner on first with the walk, but tough one at the plate right now. Focus in Hunter Steinmetz. He's a nice one.
Here's the tough test for Montgomery. In the 9-hole, nonetheless, and wearing number 9, swings and misses on strike 1. Steinmetz batting .313 with a home run and has 2 RBIs against the Gatemen this summer. He's played in all 5 contests between the two teams. Ball bounces in the dirt, and Shia blocks it nicely. Keeps the runner over there at the first base bag.
Yeah, that's the only difference is that Anchia not DHing tonight. He's catching. McIver now the DH, getting a night off from behind the plate. Anchia very good defensively as well.
Foul ball out of play. Montgomery a strike away from getting out of the second unscathed.
And he had the walk to Rutschman. He went through a stretch of 4 games straight with no walks early on in the season before the All-Star game. Since then, he's struggled a bit, a walk at least 1 in every single appearance.
The Gatemen in the middle of the season went 21 straight innings without throwing a walk. And another pop-up foul.
And it was broken against who?
Not the Commodores.
The Commodores.
Of course it was.
I believe Grant Wolfram walked a batter late in the ball game in the 9-9 tie. I believe that was around the time.
That sounds correct. Montgomery out of the stretch. The 1-2. Bounces, and it gets away from Anchia. The runner Rutschman moves to second, thinks about third, but returns. Tough pitch for Anchia to control. It looks like it bounced off his foot and then over his head. Maybe bounced off the plate and over his head.
Remember, Montgomery had issues in the second inning versus Brewster with a couple wild pitches.
2-2. The at-bat continues. Montgomery looked like he put everything he had into that pitch. Lately has not been going as many innings as the Gatemen bullpen would like him to, trying to keep arms fresh. You have 2 new additions and a couple more after tomorrow, but you're not sure who can do what for you. Again, the 2-2 lined into left center field. Rutschman rounds third and scores. Kwan picks it up and throws it in. An RBI double for Hunter Steinmetz with 2 outs. Falmouth leads 2-0.
And their bullpen has been the craziest I've heard all season long from any team on the Cape. They are yelling, they are howling, they're ready. They know that this game is just as important to them as it is for Wareham. They're trying to get first place, home field advantage throughout the division, throughout the playoffs.
You mentioned those wild pitches that hurt Montgomery against Brewster, and one hurts him right there because you put Rutschman in scoring position.
Yeah, that was a 4-run inning last time versus Brewster when he had the wild pitches, so you have to be careful.
Montgomery misses in the dirt, this time blocked by Anchia. Clayton Daniels, the new batter, he is incredibly dangerous also.
I mean, he jacked one out to left his first time up.
Didn't see that coming to lead off this game. Now pop fly out to right. Robbie Metz chasing into foul territory. He's got it. A nice catch made by Robbie Metz ends the inning, but not before an RBI double by Hunter Steinmetz. It's Duran, Topa, and Anchia to lead off the second inning on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
We appreciate and thank the sponsors who support the Cape League and the 10 teams. Our corporate sponsors are the financial backbone of the league. It is with their support that we are able to preserve our long-standing tradition of providing the best family entertainment here on Cape Cod. On behalf of the visiting team, the Wareham Gatemen, League officers and the entire Cape League family, we would like to announce and thank our 2017 corporate sponsors. With much appreciation, we recognize the Yawkey Foundation, Chatham Bars Inn, the Fuller Family Foundation, Dunkin' Donuts, Curry College, Cape Cod Healthcare, the 99 Restaurants, Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod Potato Chips, Friendly's Ice Cream, Baseball Factory, Cape and Island License Plate, 47 Brand, Cape Cod 5 Cents Saving Bank, Stop and Shop, Peapod. We'll be back to you in the next inning for the second half of this outstanding list of loyal sponsors.
Here comes Jaron Duran to lead off the bottom of the second inning. Connor Federico, Jacob Toby, along with you for tonight's action. The Falmouth Commodores have a 2-0 lead, 1 run in the first, 1 run in the second, on a night that the Gatemen are trying to secure their playoff destiny. Ground ball up the middle. It gets over the glove of the pitcher. Daniel on a first. That's the first out of the inning.
Much like Jaron Duran, who was just retired, Clayton Daniel plays a phenomenal second base defensively. And Shelton on the mound almost grabbed that from his glove. He was upset that he didn't. He banged his glove against his head right after that play because he was upset he couldn't get it himself.
Shelton, just like Montgomery, stands 6'5". Has a nice lengthy frame. They could grab balls like that. John Topa stands in here. Duran, after that ground out, 0 for 13 against the Commodores this summer. His batting average against other teams is much higher. Topa takes ball 1. Duran 272 on the summer. And 0 for 13 against the Commodores has really hurt him in terms of batting average. He could be up towards 300. Topa cranks this one out to center. Steinmetz chasing, and he fights the sun and makes the catch. Might have been the hardest we've seen John Topa hit a baseball all year, and you have so much room out there in center. And Steinmetz makes the play.
Yeah, that ball was smoked, but Steinmetz adjusts with the sun, with how fast the ball was moving. He backtracks and makes the catch, doesn't drop it. And Topa is retired. I do believe he hit one maybe up around right center field one time. It was a pretty far double. Might have been farther.
And Chia has shown us the most power out of any Gateman this summer. 5 home runs, leads the team. Only one of them are here.
That should tell you something about Spillane.
Count now 0-2 after that foul ball, and Chia looking to become the first Gateman base runner tonight.
He's trying to become Colton Shaver 2.0, leading your team in home runs and RBIs at the end of the season.
Ground ball snagged out of the air by Shelton. That's the third out. Ground out, fly out, ground out for the Gatemen in the bottom of the second inning. We'll move to the top of the third. Justin Montgomery takes the mound on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Continuing with our corporate sponsors, we also want to recognize and thank Franklin Sports, Advanced Embroidery, Cape Destinations, Robert B. R., Sullivan Tire, Vacation Inn Cape Cod, Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists, Cape Cod Times, Kinlan Grover Real Estate, Next Radio, Yellow Book, TSA, Rawlings, Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, Highline Cruises, Sports Picks, On Deck Sports, Barnstable Bat, Hyannis Area Chamber of Commerce, H.P. Hood, Sunderland Printing, and Axis Bats. And of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians, expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgent-care.
In the top of the third, we find an interesting statistic thanks to our producer Matthew Wieselthayer. The Gatemen, when they don't score first, are 3-14-1 this season. That almost spells disaster. And one of the third win in that stretch came last night. The Gatemen put a comeback together last night, but for the most part, they have not.
And Falmouth 10-5 when they score first. I mean, that's the storylines of both these teams' seasons.
Falmouth leads Wareham 2-0. We're in the top of the third. Justin Montgomery deals a ball to Austin Langworthy. Tuno now. Langworthy in his last 10 games hitting .324 with 4 RBIs. Since coming to Falmouth, he came late because he was busy winning a national championship with the Gators. He's been a mainstay at the top of the lineup. 3-0 now.
How cool would it be to win a national championship at the college level, come here to the Cape League and win a CCBL title?
Gatemen hoping that doesn't happen. Falmouth could do it, though. They certainly have the big guns. And a 4-pitch walk to lead off this inning for Montgomery.
The right fielder, number 29.
Bit of action in Wareham's
Larnack
bullpen.
From Oregon State.
And Chia going out to talk to Montgomery, trying to settle him down. His now second walk of his outing. 4 pitches on this one. No strikes.
Trevor Larnack, high school youth teammate of Willie McIver from College Park High School in Pleasant Hill, California. Montgomery deals for a strike. Seems like out of the guys who have gone home, lots of them come from Southern schools, SEC schools. Because college starts earlier for those guys. Maybe want to get a bit of a summer break.
Oh my.
Dangerous foul ball. That bounced off the top of Falmouth's dugout, almost took out their third base coach. If that was a little lower, it could have taken out somebody right in the Falmouth dugout.
I thought it did for a moment until the third base coach reacted as if it was going to ricochet back to him.
Count now 1-2 to Larnack. On deck, Josh Bro. The Gatemen won 3-1 against Falmouth this summer. Montgomery on the mound. The Gatemen offense hoping to change that. We'll do the 1-2 again. That one bounced right off of Larnack's foot.
And the dugout down that third base line, the away dugout, is pretty close to the line. One of the closer ones, I believe. As far as I've noticed, there's more space down the first base line here at Spillane.
Definitely got to be aware of your surroundings. Line shot in the left field. Chopa lets it land in front of him, and it takes a weird hop. Quan picks it up. No, he can't. And the throw comes in late. Langworthy to third. Larnack to second. A really tough hop out there in left field for John Topa.
Bounced off his shoe, off his cleat it looked like, and then he had no idea where it was. Quan goes to grab it. It slips out of his hand. And a tough ball out there for the Gatemen outfield.
Here comes Josh Bro, who had a 10-game hitting streak. Between July 1st and the 17th. So didn't play in all those games in a 17-day stretch, but when he did, he put the hits together. Fouls this one back. Bro from McLennan Community College. Just finished his freshman year, but he was drafted by the Astros in the 36th round of this year's draft. So an older freshman. He has a teammate on third and second. Line drive, it's a base hit into left field. One run scores, the others held up. It's an RBI single for Josh Bro, and Falmouth leads 3-0.
Though that run will be unearned, it's still on the scoreboard, and 3-0 lead with a runner on third. Falmouth looking for more. The most important thing, no outs. Here comes pitching coach Jim Lawler.
It's been a tough night so far for Justin Montgomery. The last play, where Larnick reached second base, it was ruled an error and a hit, and then an error on John Topa. Langworthy reaching third was also ruled an error on John Topa. So that run, as Jacob Toby just told you, unearned. Larnick now on third, and Bros on first after an RBI single. Montgomery getting a couple tough breaks that go Falmouth's way, but the Commodores hitters have also been doing a great job.
Hyannis trying to make a comeback right now. Bottom four, they score a run on a Daniel Robinson RBI double. 4-1 ball game, bottom four versus the Mariners.
Here's George Yancha. Nobody out in this inning. Runners on first and third. Yancha, Davidson, Rutschman due up. Falmouth has a run in every inning so far, looking to extend their lead. Ball in the dirt, blocked by Anchia, saves a run. Gatemen middle infield is back. It looks like at this point in the ball game, they're going to trade runs for outs. When you're down 3-0, it's an interesting approach.
3-0, 4-0, 4-0, 2 outs. Does make sense a bit. And with the way Montgomery's start has gone, just trying to get through this inning, probably the smartest decision.
Bro, if he steals, could turn off a double play ball, but he does not have a lot of speed. Yancha swings and misses. The count's now 2-2. Yancha just finished his sophomore year at Texas A&M. Had a walk-off hit to win Game 1 of the Super Regionals against the Davidson. Ground ball to the second baseman, Durand, to Baird, to first. It's a double play. But Trevor Larnick scores, and now Falmouth leads 4-0. It's been a tough few innings so far for the Gatemen.
They get the 2 outs. Another run scores, though. But now you're just 1 out away from this disastrous third inning.
The base is clear and 2 outs. Logan Davidson bats.
And now Montgomery can solely focus his attention at the plate and Logan Davidson instead of worrying about the runner on third or first.
Ground ball, plucked out of the air by Montgomery. Makes the throw on the first, and that'll do it. 1 run in the first, 1 run in the second, 2 runs in the third for the Falmouth Commodores. The Gatemen deficit is 4, and we'll head to the bottom of the third on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians, expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
It's a 4-run deficit for the Wareham Gatemen. And trying to change that here in the third. We'll lead off with Willie McIver. McIver 5 for 42 over his last 10 games. It's been a bit of a struggle for him, but over the past 2 days, the rest of the Gatemen offense has picked him up a little bit.
He has, and they have, I should say, but he's been aggressive, trying to get ahead, but it's been tough for him. He's struck out a little bit too much, probably to what he would want to do, and we didn't really see him strike out a ton during his real hot stretch at the beginning of the season. But now he can focus solely at the plate because he's DHing, which is always good.
We'll see how he does in this DH role tonight. Blake Sable, the first baseman on deck. Ben Baird in the hole. So far, the Gatemen have gone down 1-2-3 and 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first and the bottom of the second. Nice night for baseball at Spillane. Plenty more fans here than usual, possibly because the Gatemen have an opportunity to clinch playoffs. Really nice breaking ball right there from Cody Shelton, who was good against Bourne, and now he's dealing against the Gatemen.
McIver, last time DHing, July 26th versus Katuitt, 1 for 4.
And here's the first base hit of his night. A line drive into left field. McIver becomes the first Gatemen base runner of the evening.
The first baseman, number 4.
It's got to feel good for McIver.
From USC.
Rockets this one into left. Line shot. Nothing you can do about that if you're the defense. Turns on it. What else can you say? Nice piece of hitting.
Blake Sable stands in. 2 for 10 on the summer against Falmouth with a home run. That happened at the Gov.
The Gov. Possible playoff location.
Ball 1. I started, because I think I did every single road game at Falmouth. I started by calling it Arnie Allen Diamond at Gov Fuller Field, and then I shortened it to Gov Fuller Field, and by the time the third game came around, I was just, like you, I was just calling it the Gov.
That's what happens.
Little local knowledge.
You notice that it takes too much effort to say Arnie Allen Diamond at Gov Fuller Field.
McIver leads off first. Shelton's 1-0. Ground ball to Daniel. He flips it onto Davidson. Throws it on to first. It's a 4-6-3 double play. McIver and Sable both head back to the dugout. And that erases a good start in the third for the Gatemen.
Not to disrespect Arnie Allen, who had a lot to do with the community in Falmouth and with the Commodores as well. But hey, man, it's a long name.
Ben Baird, his first pitch swinging. Ground ball to Davidson, and a nice stretch by Bro. The shortstop Davidson retires the shortstop Ben Baird. And the Gatemen have gone 9 up, 9 down. We'll head to the fourth. The Gatemen trail 4-0.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com, or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
The new pitcher for the Gatemen is Barrett Lowski. Justin Montgomery gives up 4 runs, 3 earned through the first 3 innings to the Commodores. And in the fourth, it's time for Lowski to stop the bleeding and prevent Falmouth from scoring any. If he does, this game could get out of hand.
It's gushing right now. I'll have to say that. The bleeding, not good. 4 runs led up by Montgomery. And Barrett Lowski's last outing, July 27th, versus the Whitecaps here at Spillane in the 8-7 loss. Pitched 1 1/3 innings, 2 earned runs, 4 walks. Control was an issue. We'll see what he can do here in what should probably be 2 to 3 innings at least. Don't tax your bullpen too much.
Lowski probably has Major League Baseball ambitions one day. His second cousin is the Royals outfielder Alex Gordon.
Really?
Yes. Who's had implications in All-Star games, in World Series when the Royals won it. Interesting fact for you. And Lowski is facing Adley Rutschman, who will continue to bat from the left side. And he takes ball 1. Rutschman was walked by Montgomery. Not a guy you want to walk. He's only hitting .077 in his last 10 games. So he's really been struggling, and the Gatemen pitchers should just go right at him. Take advantage of his weaknesses right now.
Breaking news, the Cavaliers have beat the Braves 8-6, your final score.
Count 1 and 2.
It is 5 straight losses for the Bravos, and if the Gatemen could come back and win tonight, they would just be 1 point behind third place. Katuitt now 43 points, tied with Falmouth at the moment for first.
Big curveball from Lowski, misses up high, 2 and 2. Lowski from Arkansas, mostly a reliever this spring. 4.21 ERA, but a 3-0 record. Ball 3, just missing.
Command's been his issue this season. 6 walks to just 1 strikeout in 3 appearances.
joined the team as a second-half player. And that's ball 4. Rutschman, who's really been struggling, receives 2 walks from 2 different Gatemen pitchers.
And he scored on the first walk he received after the wild pitch from Montgomery.
The left fielder, number
See if
18,
Joshua Watson can do anything about
from Texas
Rutschman being on first base.
2 walks tonight dealt by Gatemen pitchers right before that one, and both those guys came around to score, so walks have been hurting. You just deal one there to Rutschman. Lowski trying to break that trend. Josh Watson takes a big cut and a miss on that Lowski fastball. Lowski from Oklahoma, Watson from Arlington, Texas. Strike 2. Little life on that fastball.
And on the fastball he walked Rutschman with, that one had some velocity as well. It just was in the dirt, but throwing with some oomph right now.
Called strike 3. Off-speed pitch from Barrett Lowski.
The center fielder, number 9,
Rings up Josh Watson.
from Missouri State.
And that strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exaforest, and Bullard. It's only the second Gateman strikeout today. Both to Watson, both looking.
Breaking pitch inside, painted perfectly by Anchia, who's doing the catching today. Nice pitch.
This one cranked by Hunter Steinmetz. Robbie Metz chasing at the wall, and it bounces off the wall. Looked like it was stuck in a crevice. Duran cuts off the throw. Rutschman moves to third. Steinmetz on second. 2 consecutive doubles for Hunter Steinmetz.
To be quite honest, I thought that ball was out of this park, but it hung up in the air a bit too much in the outfield, and Metz lost track of it. Quan couldn't range over in time. A lot of ground to be covered there, and like you said, I think it got stuck in that fence somewhere.
So Rutschman is on third. He's already scored today. Hunter Steinmetz, 2 for 2, an RBI, 2 doubles. And Clayton Daniel has the only home run in this game. It's the little guys for Falmouth that have absolutely been destroying the Gatemen. Daniel, Steinmetz. Neither are even 5'10". Daniel takes ball 1. The infield is now in. Gatemen realizing they can't afford to give up any more runs. Daniel hit .328 his junior season for the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. Now 1's on the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Connor Federico and Jacob Toby with you through tonight's contest. The Gatemen and the Commodores. Breaking ball misses. A little guy with power, and it's tough to pitch to him. He has such a small strike zone, and if you throw it in that strike zone, he'll take you yard.
Yeah, he's crowding the plate pretty good right now at that stance.
Ground ball back to Duran. He cuts it off, and now he's got Steinmetz in a rundown. He makes the tag out. Great work by Jaron Duran. John Topa showing a lot of effort on that play. He saw nobody was covering the second base bag and runs all the way in. That's a great way to get the second out. You eliminate a runner in scoring position.
I like the decision. Nice stab by Duran, sliding to his right. We've seen stellar performances defensively time and time again from the dirtbag over there at second base, and he's continued to show what his strength is.
Not afraid to get dirty.
Ah, there it is.
Ball 1 to Austin Langworthy. It's Daniel on first base. On third, it's still Rutschman, who scored on a 2-out double by Hunter Steinmetz back in the second inning. Langworthy takes ball 2. Austin, the Florida Gator, was most recently walked in the 3rd and eventually came around to score. An SEC battle, Arkansas and Florida. Count 3-0. Trevor Larnick on deck. Langworthy, another guy. He only stands 5'9".
Falmouth's either got giants like Bohm or little guys.
Strike 1, but Lowski far from out of this at-bat. Got a 3-1 hitter's count pitch coming to a national championship. A national champion, rather. Fouled back, and the count goes full. Good work by Lowski. He's given himself some trouble in this inning. Now 1 pitch away from ending the trouble.
You cannot walk Langworthy here. Make your pitch, whether it's a ground out or paint the outside part with a strike.
The payoff pitch down low. Blocked by Anchia. Daniel moves to second. Langworthy gets his 2nd walk of the night. He's on first. And the bases are loaded for one of those Falmouth Giants. 6'4", 215, Trevor Larnick.
And he's been a killer today. 2 for 2 with a run scored and a double. And he's licking his chops right now.
It's the 4th Gateman walk. Larnick, like his teammate on 3rd base, Adley Rutschman, was drafted in the 40th round of a Major League Baseball draft. Larnick in 2015 by the Padres. Rutschman in 2016 by the Mariners. Lowski gets ahead 0-1. Last summer, Lowski played in the Coastal Plain League for the Gastonia Grizzlies. Had a 2.85 ERA in 7 starts, 48 strikeouts. This one gets behind Anchia. Rutschman breaks for home, he scores. A fastball whizzes right over the head of the catcher, and without a swing of the bat, Commodores lead 5-0.
Yes, the Commodores have put together a couple hits that have driven in runs, but it's also been the wild pitch as well as an error from John Topa in left field. I mean, the wild pitch from Montgomery in the 2nd led Rutschman to score. The error by Topa in the 3rd. Langworthy scores. I mean, can't hurt yourself too much early on in the ball game, or else it's going to be too late. 5 runs already.
1-1, big swing and a miss with one hand from Larnick. Lowski now a strike away from getting out of the jam. Falmouth has now scored in every inning. Once in the 1st, once in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 1 here in the 4th. The Commodores looking for more. We have a little Katy Perry blared in the background.
Yeah, Larry's computer's not working tonight. Feel for him.
Lowski's 1-2. Driven foul.
You can keep that foul.
Spaced on the way, the sun's going down. We might be in store for a nice sunset tonight. A little orange and pink beginning, but we're not at that time yet. What Sam Corman calls glory mode, which we learned in the game in Orleans just a couple of days ago.
When the sun goes down.
Kenny Chesney or Jacob Toby on color tonight. 1-2, driven out into center. Quan chasing on his high horse, and he drops the ball at the wall. 2-run score. It's a big double, the 2nd of the day for Trevor Larnick. And Daniel and Langworthy score. 7-0 Falmouth.
And if you're at the Gov, Trevor Larnick, that one probably gone.
Probably.
But you're at Spillane Field, and that one's a long double. Nice effort from Quan out in center field. Stabbed at it with the glove. Just couldn't keep it in, and The bleeding has not stopped. 2 outs in this inning. It's been tough for Lowski.
Here comes Josh Bro, 1 for 2 today with an RBI. Takes a breaking ball on the first pitch. That misses from Lowski. Larnick, 3 for 3 today. 2 RBIs and a run scored. It's only the 4th inning. Big fly ball. And suddenly, it's only the 4th Jacob, but maybe this is not the night that the Gatemen clinch the playoffs.
I mean, yes, you play to get into the playoffs, but I would imagine you play to get as far up in the standings as possible. And with Bourne losing tonight and only staying at 40 points, a great opportunity to reach within 1 point of them for 3rd place.
Moonshot out to left field. John Topa is under it, and that's the 3rd out. A 3-run 4th inning for the Falmouth Commodores. And Falmouth leads 7-0. Gatemen looking to put up some runs in the bottom of this frame.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Mr. Brian Clue and SmartGo Services LLC, located in Taunton, Massachusetts, for being the official sponsors of the Gatemen Player Development Program. The Player Development Program aims to improve both the players' and interns' skills and prepares them for a career in professional baseball. Again, a sincere thank you to Mr. Brian Clue and SmartGo Services.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
In the bottom of the 4th, the Gatemen trail 7-0 to the Falmouth Commodores. And in the bottom of the 6th, we have some scoring updates from Hyannis.
A 4-3 game right now. Harbor Hawks making a comeback. Griffin Day a solo shot in this ball game.
Stephen Kwan bats for the 2nd time, the leadoff man in the 4th inning. The Gatemen have gone 9 up, 9 down, except for a Willie McIver base hit. He was eventually doubled up by Daniel, Davidson, and Bro on a ground ball from Blake Sable.
Brewster has beaten Orleans 6-2. That game went final. A 4 o'clock start time in Brewster, with the sun now setting a little bit earlier in the day. Same thing in Katuitt, 4:30 start time, 8-6. Kettleers over Braves.
Count 3-1 now. Nice hitter situation for Kwan.
And in Chatham, no score between the Whitey Red Sox and the Anglers, top of the 3rd.
And Kwan works himself a walk. First walk issued tonight by Cody Shelton.
Right fielder number 9, Robbie.
Commodores took advantage of walks when they got them through the first 4 innings. Now maybe it's the Gatemen's turn.
Your table setter gets the job done. Now you have to bring him around. Robbie Metz, a great candidate to do so. Struck out looking back in the 1st. See what he can do here. Would you try a hit and run situation?
Well, Kwan was almost picked off, so maybe just stay put for now. You need a series of runs. It's not going to take 1 or 2. Big curveball misses. The road ahead is a long one for the Gatemen if they want to come back in this one.
Couple grand grand slams would be nice right now.
Got to get the runners on first. Quan is on first. Count 1-1. Robbie Metz hit .339 this junior spring for the George Washington Colonials. 32 RBIs, 13 stolen bases. Did better at the plate than he did on the mound. Had a 5.02 ERA, an 0-4 record, 24 strikeouts. He's been doing the dual player thing for GW since his freshman year. A lot of pickoff throws over there at Quan. Shelton already has a 7-0 advantage.
Well, now Metz is the everyday right fielder until further notice.
Depending on how long the season lasts, right now the Gatemen are guaranteed this game and then 2 more, both against the Bourne Braves.
How fitting against the Bravos. Tomorrow at Dorn Park, then back here for the season finale Thursday.
Ground ball right back up the middle. Snagged by Shelton. Throw to short. Davidson can't get Metz. Fielder's choice for Robbie Metz. Quan returns to the dugout. 1 out, 1 runner on.
And what's that called if the Gatemen make the playoffs? A off day on Friday?
Or an off day for the rest of the summer.
I'm sure they would take just 1 off day for the playoffs.
I'd love one. Kyle Kasser, the new hitter. Infield remains at double play depth.
Last off day that wasn't really even an off day was Fenway Park.
Yep. Cold, rainy. Interesting time.
No BP on the field.
Sat there for hours and looked at rain hitting a tarp. Kasser with the bat on his left shoulder. Keeps it there. Count 2-0. Kasser hitting .298, 3 doubles, 13 RBIs, an on-base percentage of .363.
I'm telling you, you guys missed what the Cape is all about. Last summer, no rain. What's up with the rain?
Line shot up the middle, base hit for Kasser. Metz stays at second. The Gatemen have their second hit of this ballgame.
Build it step by step. Only 1 out in the inning. And now Jaron Duran can also slap something in the opposite field and has some speed. Metz has speed, obviously, so if you hit one to the opposite field, Metz could score from second, no problem.
Duran, the lefty, faces Shelton, the righty. Duran today, a ground out to Daniel at second. High chopper, foul. Nice play made by first base coach Sean Callahan. So we really didn't know what to expect from Shelton. Arrived here just a couple of days ago. Made 1 start against Bourne. That was a solid one. And he's been completely out-dueling combination of the West Division All-Star starter, Justin Montgomery, and the Arkansas Razorback, Barrett Lowski. Duran, does he check his swing? He does. Count 1-1.
Oh, my. Ford Proctor, RBI single, tied up at 4. Bottom 6, McKeon Park, between the Mariners and the Harbor Hawks.
The season ends in the Cape season for all teams with a home and home. Duran fouls this one off, and it lands back into play after hitting high school. So the end of the season matchups, pretty similar to the home and home series that are played on the 4th of July. The only difference is instead of Cotuit, Falmouth, and YD Hyannis, it's Falmouth, Hyannis, and Cotuit, YD. Other than that, it's still Chatham, Orleans, Wareham, Bourne, and Brewster, Harwich.
I think the thinking on that is keep it relatively close within your location of where your field is.
Right. The Gatemen, it'll be an important series against the Bourne Braves. Even more so for Hyannis, who would have to win out against Falmouth. Ground ball back up the middle. The 6'5" frame snags it. And Shelton only gets the first out over at second. That's the third time we've seen him do that. Get a little air off the mound and make a good throw.
The left fielder, number 14,
So
John
Metz moves over to
Zumba
third.
from
Cassers
Yukon.
retired at second. And Duran is on first with a fielder's choice.
Yeah, the runner moves to third, but an out is sacrificed. Topa hit one hard his first time up, just flew out to center.
Hyannis goes into a home and home against the Commodores. 0 for 4 on the season against Falmouth. So the Harbor Hawks need to win both those games to remain playoff eligible. Fly ball out in the right. Larnick makes the catch, and that does it. We'll head into the 5th inning with a 7-0 lead for the Commodores. You're watching Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. We are proud supporters of the CCBBL as well as many other wonderful Cape Cod organizations that serve our community. Want to hear more about today's game, players, and breaking sports updates? Then download the free Next Radio app from the Google Play Store and tune to this station. It's live. It's local FM radio wherever you go. The Next Radio app. Get it today. Friendly's Restaurants, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to be the official ice cream of the Cape Cod Baseball League and bring together two of America's favorite pastimes, baseball and ice cream. Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Barrett Lowski back on the mound for the Gatemen. Gave up 3 runs in the 4th, and here he is in the 5th. Commodores have scored in every inning.
George Yancha from Texas A&M.
Not a day that the Gatemen have risen to the occasion.
No, and tough to see Montgomery struggle like he did. But had a great conversation when the Gatemen were playing at Eldridge Park in Orleans with Montgomery's Aunt Michelle and his dad Steve.
George Yancha steps in against Lowski.
His Aunt Michelle lives in Hawaii, from Hawaii. And they just loved being here. First time on the Cape. They expressed such gratitude watching Montgomery throw the ball as well as he had been, starting an all-star game. They witnessed him pitching 8 2/3 of no-hit baseball in Alaska last summer. And talking to Michelle, she was telling me that such a different atmosphere in the Alaskan League.
Montgomery played for the Peninsula Oilers of the Alaska League last year, who made it all the way to the Alaska Baseball League Championship Series. On that summer, Montgomery had 7 starts, 5 more relief appearances, 2.83 ERA. Also had 2 saves coming out of the bullpen. Yancha into right field. Robbie Metz chases along the foul line. And that's the first out of this 5th inning.
And he also started the All-Star game in the Alaskan League last summer, so 2 straight summers of starting an All-Star game.
Very cool. Here comes Logan Davidson.
The shortstop, number 6, Logan Davidson.
Out of high
from
school.
Clemson.
Was drafted in the 30th round of the 2016 Major League Baseball draft by the Phillies. It's swung deep into center. Kwan. 2 away.
Also, Michelle was telling me how she will take in hitchhikers whenever they come about, whenever they see them. That's just the way they do things. And don't know how we got started on that conversation, but we started talking about how it's different over there, I guess, from the rest of the states. Not a lot of people would do that, I feel, but their family very comfortable doing it, and just shows how nice of a family he's got.
Rutschman plays his college baseball for Oregon State in Corvallis, and last summer played 10 games in the West Coast League for the Corvallis Knights. Hit .256, had 2 RBIs. Rutschman has walked twice today and scored twice. That's just not a winning formula in baseball games. You walk a guy and you let him score, let alone do it twice. In the early going, too, it sort of tells the story right now of this baseball game.
Both innings, wild pitches did occur.
Rutschman out of high school was named the number 2 player in all of Oregon by Baseball Northwest, publication I'm not familiar with.
Nor am I.
And foul ball. Lowski trying to make this 5th inning the first that the Commodores are unable to score.
Ain't that the story?
If this score continues, Wareham would fall to 1-4-1 against Falmouth on the summer, and this would be the first game that's not even close. Another foul ball.
That's why it's so important to win this game. Get closer to Bourne, maybe jump Bourne, play Katuitt instead of Falmouth in that first round. And
well, if you said Bourne lost, correct?
Bourne lost.
That makes, if the Gatemen lose tonight, they fall to, no, they remain 3 points behind.
That's why
called strike 3, and that ends the inning. Barrett Lowski gets the first scoreless inning for Gatemen pitchers, and we will head to the bottom of the 5th. The Gatemen looking to put up some runs on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Fuller Family Foundation is proud to support the excellent sportsmanship and character of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
The Sacred Cod Tavern at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa, a quintessential New England dining experience for lunch or dinner, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Welcome back to Spillane Field, everyone. I'm Claudia Chakamian with a quick game break. So it's been 10 days since the All-Star game was here at Spillane Field, and although as we saw Justin Montgomery struggle again tonight since the All-Star game, that's not there are some positives to look from the All-Star game. The offense has been heating up. Kyle Castor has been doing the best since the All-Star game, and as we saw, he was an All-Star here at Spillane Field that day. He's been hitting .314 in the past 10 games since that game. He's hitting 11 hits and has had 5 RBIs, so he's proving why he was voted to be an All-Star and proving that he was not just a first-half player. On the other side, Robbie Metz, as we know, the walk-off hero from last night's game, he's also been doing very well, hitting .290 in the past 10 games with 11 hits and 3 RBIs. So he's been a clutch member, that veteran in him. He's doing it again this season, being a big help to this Gatemen team. And then Jaron Duran came in huge on Sunday at Orleans when the Gatemen snapped that 7-game losing streak. He's hitting .278 in the past 10 games with 10 hits, 4 runs scored, and 5 RBIs. And so he's been another guy who wasn't voted to the All-Star team, but has been helping the Gatemen in a big way since then. So the Gatemen are currently down by 7, haven't scored a run yet, so the offense isn't doing too well, but there's still positives to look at, and they came back last night, so let's see if they can do it again. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Claudia. 7-0 is the score, as Claudia Chakamian just let you know. Looking to put up some runs. The inning will start with Jake Anchia. Gatemen threatened back in the 4th, couldn't push anybody across. And the new pitcher is Jack Pabich from Cal State Fullerton.
The catcher, number 16, Jake Anchia from Nova Southeastern.
So a good day for Cody Shelton. Goes 4 scoreless innings against the Gatemen. Jake Anchia, the new batter. High pop-up in the left. Langworthy. That ball finally comes down in the glove, and that's the first out of the inning.
The designated hitter, number 17, Willie McIver from Washington.
And a major score update from Hyannis. Willie McIver takes high ball 1. Harbor Hawks now have a 7-4 lead. Wow, little life in those Hawks.
They're flying.
All in the 6th inning. Ball 2 to McIver, who has one of 2 Gatemen hits today. Was retired at second on a double play ball by Blake Sable. Was back in the 3rd. Ground ball off McIver's foot. That does not look lovely, but McIver looks fine. A lot of grit in that kid.
Love the way he plays. Very, very nice kid. Love talking to him about baseball and random things, not baseball. He's always smiling.
Ground ball to the shortstop. Davidson, a strong throw. 2 gone. So Pabich gets 2 quick outs. Not a lot you can say about this one so far.
First baseman, number 4, Blake Sable from USC.
Sable grounded out 4-6-3 his last time up in 3rd. The lefty faces the righty Pabich for the first time today. And takes called strike 1 on the outer half. Sable, the second cousin of USC football legend Troy Polamalu. Sable, USC Trojan himself. Down in an 0-2 hole. Little West Coast battle here. Pavic has not had the Cape League success his Cal State Fullerton teammate Brett Canine has, but he gets a strikeout here. A foul tip into the glove of Adley Rutschman. And the Gatemen go down 1-2-3. It'll be the bottom of the lineup coming up in the 6th for the Falmouth Commodores on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like their hand-breaded crispy fish tacos with cilantro lime rice. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgent-care. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgent-care.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Top of the 6th, the Wareham Gatemen lead trail 7-0. Connor Federico, Jacob Toby along for this wild ride of a season for the Gatemen. Barrett Lowski still out there on the mound for the Gatemen dealing. He had a quick 5th inning and then didn't get much help from his offense in the same frame. The 5th has been the only inning that Falmouth hasn't scored. The Gatemen haven't scored in any of them.
Our beat writer Matt Feld pointing out that the Gatemen have grounded out to the mound more times than they have hits.
Deep fly ball to right field. Metz chasing, looking up, gone. A solo shot from Josh Watson makes the bad news worse for the Gatemen. It's 8-0 Falmouth.
No doubt. Moonshot. Ball got out of here pretty quickly, and
The center fielder, number 9,
bleeding does
Hunter
not stop.
Steinmetz from Missouri State.
Here comes Steinmetz, 2 for 2 on the day, 2 doubles, an RBI. Falmouth continues to grow this lead. In the 6th inning of an 8-0 ball game. And a good pitch from Lowski, up in the count 0-2. So was Watson, and he just crushed that ball. Time called by Steinmetz. Approaching 8 o'clock on the East Coast. Thank you for being with us tonight, Connor Federico and Jacob Toby. Steinmetz, ball 2. Yancey has let a lot of balls get by him today.
Yeah, tough day behind the plate. A couple wild pitches he's had to deal with, and maybe the toughest one we've seen on him this season.
That pitch hits Steinmetz. Lowski puts a runner on first. Steinmetz has not been retired today.
The second base
Control continues to be the issue for Lowski.
From Jacksonville State.
7 of 9 Commodores have made an influence on the scoreline tonight, either with a run or an RBI or both or multiple of one or the other. The only ones that haven't are George Yancha, Logan Davidson. Ball gets away from Daniel. Steinmetz is on to second easily. So Jake Ancia spends some time at the DH spot. We've seen plenty of balls reach the backstop.
That one hitting his glove. Couldn't control it within the glove, and yeah, a couple days off as the DH.
Pass ball right there. One of the bigger crowds at Spillane this evening has not been treated nicely by the Falmouth Commodores. Ball 2. Now 3-0. Some of the biggest stars for Falmouth this season: Clayton Daniel, Hunter Steinmetz, Josh Bro. They don't come from big name schools. Missouri State, Jacksonville State, McClellan Community College. They get the job done. Strike one.
I mean, it goes to show that you can find very, very good players at smaller schools and don't have to always recruit from the biggest ones.
That's ball 4 to number 4, Clayton Daniel. And another walk.
Yeah.
Home run, hit by pitch, walk. And it looks like Loski's night is over. We'll take a quick break on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke. Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen High School Clinics. These programs are run by the Gatemen coaching staff with a focus on exposing high school area players to the college game. To sign up for either the hitting, pitching, or catching camps, visit www.gatemen.org for more information. Don't miss a minute of this station's pre- and post-game sports talk. Tune in on your smartphone with the Next Radio app. It's live and it's local. Download the free Next Radio app from the Google Play Store today. Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams. It's all online at www.curry.edu. Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves. For 7, Austin Langworthy from Florida.
Well, you just heard Dan Diaz say it, the new batter, Austin Langworthy. With runners on first and second, he faces the lefty, Riley Gates. Barrett Loski's night is done. He gives up 4 runs, just like Justin Montgomery. Passed ball from Ancia's glove. And the runners move into scoring position with nobody out. Not a nice way to welcome Gates into the ball game.
Gates pitched an inning and a third versus the Firebirds. Couple Ks, one walk. Does not start it off nicely here with the pass ball.
Lefty-lefty matchup with Langworthy. Fly ball out into left. Should be deep enough to score the runner from third. Steinmetz takes off and comes home. 9-0.
That'll be charged to Lowski.
The right fielder, number 29.
So number 9 scores the 9th run of the night.
Oregon State.
He moved into third base. 2 based balls from Jake Anchia. Daniel remains over at second. Gates and Larnick, and this one bounces and gets behind Anchia. That one might be a wild pitch.
It is.
Runner on third. Falmouth showing no signs of stopping. Fly ball could make this double digits. The Gatemen infield respecting Trevor Larnick's power. And a ground ball would trade and out for a run. Ground ball. Sable grabs it, steps on the bag, and Clayton Daniels scores. 10-0.
I mean, why stop? You're making a statement right now versus the Wareham Gatemen that we will score runs in bunches. And by the way, our pitcher, who's only made 1 appearance before this, will shut you out.
Here's Josh Bro. This game started with a Clayton Daniels solo shot for the first run of the game. Clayton Daniels just scored the 10th run of the game in the 6th inning. Not a lot of life in the Gatemen dugout right now. A lot of low-hanging heads. And a silent crowd here at Spillane. So 6 earned runs total are charged to Barrett Lowski.
I mean, the Gatemen scored 2 in the second versus the Orleans Firebirds in that 7-4 loss. At least they scored some runs in that one. I mean, they're being blanked right now, and it's not looked good. At least there was some life late in the ball game. Still yet to reach those innings. We'll see what happens later on.
How quickly times can change, Jacob. 7-game losing streak turns into a 2-game winning streak, 2 comeback victories. Now tonight, it seems like these Gatemen go on stretches where it's all or nothing, and tonight it's been the latter.
And that's not good heading into playoffs. The latter will end in tough losses.
Ball 4.
Third baseman, number 3, George Yancha from Texas A&M.
Yancha, one of 2 Commodores to not reach base tonight. The other is Davidson, who's on deck. Yancha played in the Northwoods League last summer. 47 contests for the Wisconsin Woodchucks. Hit .309, had 2 home runs. 28 ribbies. 47 games in the Northwoods League. That's about 3/4 of the season. In the Cape League, that's the whole regular season and then some.
That's a lot.
72 games, I believe the Northwoods regular season is. That one almost hit Yancha.
You think this is a grind? 72.
Moonshot into the sky. Stephen Kwan, it gets behind him, he's chasing it, and it gets over his head and falls. Runner scores, and Yancha ends up on third base. It's an error on the center fielder, Stephen Kwan. That happened last night, too. And that ball was just hit so high in the air, Kwan couldn't see it, and it's 11-0.
Number 6, Logan Davidson.
Joshua Bro showing why you hustle it out on fly balls, even if it's at the end of an inning. He scores from first after walking, and man, 11-0. And it's the 6th. I mean, there's room for more if you're Falmouth. Why stop?
Davidson, now the only batter who hasn't reached base today. Yancha's over on third. That ball hung in center field for a very long time. And here's a high pop up into shallow right. Robbie Metz charging, but it's called by Duran, and that's the third out. 4 runs in the 6th for the Commodores. The hurt continues for the Gatemen. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 17 seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for top-notch baseball training. With over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18 and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like their hand-breaded crispy fish tacos with cilantro lime rice. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Ryan Legich is the new pitcher for Falmouth. First appearance on the season for the Commodores from Baylor. Stands 5'10".
The shortstop, number 3, Ben Baird from Washington.
So it's not often you see the batter have more height than the pitcher, but Baird has a good 4 inches on Legich. And the lefty deals, called strike 1. Looks like he's got some fire in that arm. Hyannis leads 8-6 over Harwich. And Chatham and YD locked at zeros in the bottom of the 5th. Another 0 around the Cape, and that's right here on the Gatemen scoreboard. Baird, Kwan, and Metz to lead off this inning.
A tough night at Spillane.
Weak fly ball into right, charging, and making the catch is Larnick.
And Don Snedden, Wareham head coach, has no options to change his lineup really at all. I mean, 9 position players. I guess you could try Cody Smith out of your bullpen to come and take an at bat, but what's the point of risking an injury?
Strike one to Quan. 41 in black against 51 in cranberry red, as it's described here in Wareham. Oh, big breaking ball, strike 2. That thing has quite a bit of movement to it. Fly ball, left center, Langworthy. 2 outs. Here comes Robbie Metz. Metz from Poolesville, Maryland. And at Poolesville High School was a Maryland All-State selection.
The right fielder, number 9,
Was named
Robbie
Washington
Metz
Post First
from
Team
George
All-Metro. And his senior year hit .462 as a shortstop while pitching with a .15 ERA, a 7-0 record, 70 strikeouts. Metz, highly touted out of high school. Approaching 3 years since Metz graduated from Poolesville. Has played quite a bit for George Washington. Count now 2-1. Connor Federico and Jacob Toby along with you tonight. It's the Gatemen look to wrap up a West Division playoff spot. The way it's going, it won't happen tonight, but the scenario remains the same no matter what Hyannis does. It's win and you're in. They'll have 2 chances against the Bourne Braves, who the Gatemen are 2-2 against. And the 2-2, grounded back up the middle. It's a base hit for Metz. The third Gatemen hit of the night. 1 for Metz, 1 for Kasser, 1 for McIver.
Nice job from Metz, right up the middle.
Number 13, Kyle Kasser from
Now,
Oregon.
there are 2 outs, but what do you have to lose? Maybe steal a base here for Metz? I don't know.
We'll see. Kyle Kasser, hottest player coming into this game, hitting .400, 5 RBIs in his last 10 games. Also came into this game hitting .462 with 2 RBIs against Falmouth. He was going to be the star of this game if there would be any for the Gatemen. Has 1 hit. A weak ground ball to the third baseman. Yancha bobbles it, and Kasser's aboard. Cheers and claps from the remaining Spillane Fields crowd. Here comes Jaron Duran. Kasser's reached base twice today.
Jaron Duran from Long Beach State.
Talked about the Gatemen pitching woes with wild pitches tonight. They have 5. That brings them to 39 on the season.
Falmouth just committed its first error. A weak ground ball by Jaron Duran lands fair, and Adley Rutschman makes a strong throw to end the inning. The Gatemen strand 2 runners on base, and we will head to the 7th. Falmouth leads 11-0 on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Cape Cod Baseball League is all about family, and it's all about fun. Friendly's is all about family and fun and is proud to sponsor the 2017 baseball season. Friendly's, life with extra sprinkles.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1991, holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 through 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, plus 400 have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams. It's all online at www.curry.edu.
First appearance for a new Gateman. It's Chris Weiss from Hofstra on Long Island.
The catcher, number 34,
And
Adley
he'll now be
Rushman
pitching
from
to
Oregon State.
Blake Sable, who's the new catcher. Jake Anchia moves over to first base.
Tough day for Anchia behind the plate. Chris Weiss out of Ridge, New York. You know where that is?
It's about 10 minutes from me, Jacob.
Of course.
From the eastern part of Long Island. That's just before what you would call the east end of the island. Ridge near Riverhead, and Weiss is a 2016 Riverhead Tomcat of the Hamptons Collegiate Baseball League. Had a good year last summer, 2.85 ERA.
I have a question.
Shoot.
The Hamptons. It's obviously a well-known place. Wasn't that where Kevin Durant staked out his free agency period?
Yes, that happened in East Hampton, which is about an hour from me.
What's there? What's so important?
Similar to Cape Cod, it's great beach destinations, a lot of nice hamlets and villages with nice main streets and shops, and in East Hampton you have water on both sides. Foul ball, Rutschman against Weiss. In East Hampton, can probably walk 15 minutes to the water from no matter where you are. Different from the Cape. Don Sneddon asking where that ball hit Rutschman. From here, it clearly hit him in the foot. And that's why it was ruled a foul ball.
Well, not a good game for the Gatemen in general, but a good time for Weiss to get some work in. That's for sure. 5'10", 215 pounds. Would fit in nicely with the Commodores, he's so short. 27 appearances out of the pen for Hofstra. 5.17 ERA. 197 opponent's batting average.
The 2-2. Fly ball. You know, in my time on the Cape this summer, I've drawn a lot of comparisons to the Hamptons and to the Cape, two premier vacation destinations on the East Coast.
Cape's better, tell you that much.
I can give you a reason it's not. And
probably a good one.
The king of Massachusetts, as Rutschman strikes out swinging, the king of New England, Tom Brady, chooses not to spend most of his time in the summers on the Cape. He chooses to spend it where I went to high school, West Hampton Beach.
Watson from Texas,
which is smaller? Is the Cape smaller, or is
well, in
the
geographic size, I'd say the Hamptons stretches an hour and a half to a 2-hour car ride. However, the Hamptons is the southern fork of Long Island, which is a lot narrower than the Cape is. East Hampton is similar to Chatham. Ground ball. Anchia makes a nice stop over there, trying to beat the runner to the bag. And that's the second out of the inning. Good work by him.
Well, I'll tell you this much. You may have Tom Brady during the summer. We got Tom Brady for the season. I'll tell you that much.
I'm just making a statement about where the almighty God of Massachusetts chooses to spend his summers, and it's not in Massachusetts, it's in New York. It's on Long Island.
The goat of life.
Big swing and a miss by Steinmetz. I'll tell you what bothered me the other day, Jacob, and no matter what your politics are, Donald Trump was on Long Island, and all the media outlets said in Long Island for Trump's visit. And that is a big no-no, similar to in/on the Cape. And that's something that a lot of broadcasters, when they come here, have to battle with. A lot of them say in the Cape. That's something I never had a problem with due to...
Because you understand.
On Long Island. And you know this probably bothers you, too, as a Cape Cod local.
Yes. It irks me.
Then again, we are complaining about growing up on Cape Cod or on the eastern part of Long Island. There's not much to complain about.
That's what Montgomery's aunt was telling me. She said, you are so lucky that you have this in your backyard. You have the Cape League. You have the beach. So different from where Montgomery has grown up.
Well, West Coast, California. Weiss's 0-2 drilled into left. Topa makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning in the first Cape League career appearance for Chris Weiss. We are off to the 7th inning stretch, presented by Eastern Propane and Oil. Proud to sponsor the Gatemen with locations on and off the Cape. More Gatemen baseball after the break on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Want to hear more about today's game, players, and breaking sports updates? Then download the free Next Radio app from the Google Play Store and tune to this station. It's live. It's local FM radio wherever you go. The Next Radio app. Get it today. Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
There are some defensive changes for the Falmouth Commodores, but I couldn't really care to tell you what they are because now we welcome Dan Diaz, our normal voice of the Gatemen PA, the best in the league, without a doubt, to our broadcast.
You
Dan?
are too kind. Ed, great to join you here, Connor. A little bit of a rough night for the Gatemen, but you know, there's certainly, no matter the circumstances, there's worse things we could be doing than sitting here watching a baseball game on Cape Cod on a beautiful summer night. So good to be here.
That's very true. We're watching John Topa take his hacks. Gatemen on their way to possibly their 23rd loss of the summer. The Gatemen last summer, 25 wins in the regular season, an impressive year. What do you think's changed, if anything?
It's one of those things you never can gauge year to year. You know, you might have your certain pipelines where you recruit players from, but you can't control for what the other teams are going to get. And you know, we've been in a lot of competitive games this year. Just haven't caught many breaks. Looks like we were pretty much going to make the playoffs. So once you get in, all bets are off. In 2012, we actually had a record a little worse than this team. We were able to really make a run in the middle of August and come home with the whole thing. So
Ground ball to the shortstop, Davidson, and it gets by the first baseman, Bro. Anchia slips, rounding first base. He was well on his way to second, but he now returns. That's ruled an error. So you hear the beautiful pipes coming out of Dan Diaz. Dan, I mean, when was it you realized you have this angelic voice that you need to bestow upon the people of Wareham?
Well, I started interning with the team in 2006, and I grew up in the area, always loved baseball, always been a huge fan of the Gatemen, spend a lot of time here in the summers. So when I started interning, Mr. Wild, unfortunately, fell ill, and I sort of stepped in reading the PSAs between innings, and then when he passed away, I moved into the PA announcing role, and you know, I learned from the best. He's just, you know, an awesome guy, tremendous announcer. I really do believe he had one of the best voices in sports.
Big shoes to fill.
There'll never be another John Wild, so you know, he's just a special guy.
Connor Federico and Dan Diaz here with you. Color commenter for right now as you replace Jacob Toby. I believe in the 8th inning we're going to get our producer and our beat writer, Matt and Matt, on the broadcast.
You guys are an awesome team, and you guys have done an outstanding job all summer, and I'm sure the families really appreciate it. And you know, I think this is one of the, despite the difficulties on the field, this has been a very fun summer. So
thank you, sir.
You guys
we appreciate
have done a tremendous job.
We appreciate that. As Willie McIver stands in. 1-2. Lazy fly ball to left center. Charging quickly, Langworthy. It almost gets over his head, but he makes a nice play. Anchia retreats back to first. Now there are 2 outs in this inning.
Now batting the catcher, number 4, Blake Sable from USC.
So you hear Matt Feld do that right there, and you have a distinct style where you go now batting, and then
Sure.
It's the number, it's the name, and the school, and it's every time. It's very consistent. Have you experimented over the years with how you?
No, I don't think it's really changed too much. I sat in front of a microphone one day, and that's what came out.
Nice.
You know, that's kind of the way that happened. But you know, I've been so lucky to have the best seat in the house for a number of years, seen some great baseball here, night in and night out. So it's really been a lot of fun and quite an honor to serve in this role. So.
Funniest name you've ever had to say?
Oh boy, we've had some tricky ones. I think we had a guy named Roston Hausler or something like that a few years ago from Oklahoma State. Yeah, he was probably the trickiest name.
Roslyn Hauster?
Roston Hausler, Nico Roston Hausler.
Oh my goodness.
So.
All short names on this Gatemen roster right now. Nobody goes over 3 syllables in the last name department.
Yeah, nothing too tricky this year, but you never can tell. So.
Base hit for Sable. The Gatemen have 2 aboard. They haven't scored tonight, but they've stranded 2 runners in both the 4th and the 6th. Trying to change that in the 7th.
It'd be great to see them piece together something here and put a couple on the board and hopefully give them some momentum or feelings of positivity going into Bourne tomorrow night. So,
is this the only play-by-play, the only PA gig you have? Rather, do you do anything else for them?
I've done some high school sports, high school football, high school basketball. I've actually started to look into auctioneering.
You should.
Learning how to do that. So, yeah, it just.
Well, that would be your style right now. To me, it seems you take your time, you leave it all out there. I mean, with auctioneering, that is so quick. It'd be a major style change.
Just kind of something new, I guess. So we'll see what happens.
That ground ball, 6-4 ends the inning. That was Dan Diaz on the broadcast. We thank him very much for joining us.
My pleasure.
I'm Connor Federico. We'll head to the 8th with Matt Feld and Matt Wieselthayer coming up.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Welcome back here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. I'm Matt Feld, and I'm joined by Matt Weasel Thayer.
It's the Matt and Matt show that people have been waiting for all season long.
It is the show people have been waiting for all season long, and as we come back, the Gatemen have a new pitcher into the game, number 21, John Murphy, out of Maryland, and the Gatemen just looking to eat a couple of innings here down the stretch, and what has been nothing short of an interesting ball game, Matt.
I'm going to go with the word, and sadly the word is disaster. When you come out and the first batter of the game hits a solo shot, yeah, no, things aren't going too pretty. And Gatemen, a couple times have been able to recover this season in those situations. Tonight, though, just seemed like first batter got the home run, thought that Justin Montgomery could settle down, and instead everything goes wrong for him. That it's been the past couple nights that he's pitched, and just the wheels falling off today. But that doesn't mean much for the entire season, because we've seen that from that 7-game losing streak. The wheels fell off a few times, and then there was a 2-game winning streak.
Yes, exactly. And the Gatemen, no matter what, I mean, Hyannis is winning tonight, so it will not make much difference. We'll get a pinch hitter here for the Commodores, number 13, Cameron O'Neill out of Holy Cross. Right-handed batter, the Crusader, facing John Murphy, making his first Cape League appearance of the season. And the first pitch is inside on a fastball, 1-0.
Cam O'Neill has been good against the Gatemen this season. He hasn't played as much recently for Falmouth in general, but he has been good against this team, Gatemen Killer.
1-0 from Murphy is low, 2-0.
Seems like this entire Falmouth team, though, are Gatemen Killers. This is really the one team that the Gatemen just can't seem to figure out at all.
And the Gatemen went 1-5 against Falmouth last year, and the Gatemen, barring the greatest comeback, I'd have to probably go back and look in Cape League history, are going to go to 1-4-1 against them against this year. And the pitch for Murphy is hit in the air to deep left field. Back goes Topa to the track at the wall, and that ball is gone. Solo home run for Cameron O'Neill as John Murphy gets a rude awakening in his first Cape League appearance, and it's 12-0 Falmouth.
You know, he came in to replace Clayton Daniel. Clayton Daniel, his first at-bat, hits a home run, and same exact thing right here for Cam O'Neill, another Gatemen Killer. Just what can go right now for the Gatemen?
And credit to Cameron O'Neill. He knows that Murphy's probably a inexperienced pitcher on the mound. You know he's going to throw a 2-over, get-me-over fastball, and he takes full advantage. That ball ended up near Jacob Toby's car in the parking lot, and hopefully Toby's car is okay. But that makes it 12-0 Falmouth.
Yeah, one of the nice things about this ballpark is the cars are far enough out.
As the first pitch to Larnick is hit in the air to right field on the run, Ronnie Metz dives and makes a terrific play. Robbie Metz, full extension into the right center field gap to take a hit away from Austin Langworthy.
You know, we were talking about a few seconds ago how there weren't a lot of highlight plays in this game, and all of a sudden, we come on the air, and there's things going on all over the place. I think it's us. I mean,
I think it is us.
A little good for the Gatemen, a little good for Falmouth. Obviously, a little too late for the Gatemen, but hey, a little good for everyone.
The only unfortunate thing is I think during that call I called him Bobby Retz, but that's okay.
You know,
and it's
been a rough day for him overall.
Here's Trevor Larnick, 3 for 4, a pair of doubles, a run scored, and an RBI. First pitch from Murphy is a breaking ball in the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. Pretty impressive. Robbie Metz in a 12-0 game could have let that ball drop, but gives it his all, full extension, gives up the body, makes the play.
Exactly, and this is, you know, he is trying to still get back used to the outfield. He played 21 times last year in the outfield for the Gatemen. This year, hasn't played anything until this past week. He was only playing second and third base, so still probably trying to get comfortable out there.
0-1 pitch. It's hit on the ground to first, and Chia stays down on it, takes it himself for the second out of the inning. So nice recovery from John Murphy after the leadoff home run to Cameron O'Neill. A pair of outs, and that'll bring up number 32, Joshua Bro, who had some dramatics against the Gatemen earlier this year, a pinch hit 3-run homer in that ninth inning.
And man, if we're talking about annoying games to watch, that one was a little frustrating just because I hate ties personally, and that one ended up being a 9-9 tie in the 12th inning. And, you know, you always want to come out with a winner, and the Gatemen seemed like they had 2 chances in 2 consecutive innings to win and just couldn't do it.
First pitch is a breaking ball from Murphy at the letters for a strike, 0-1. And the Gatemen, who still need one more win or a Hyannis loss to clinch, well, they had Falmouth twice in the 9th inning with at least a 2-run lead and couldn't get it done. If they had gotten just one of those wins, well, tonight would not mean as much.
On the reverse side, though, they did have early on the year, all the way back in the home opener, a 2-run deficit going into the 9th inning, and then were able to win the game.
0-1, 2-seamers outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. So they're even. They're even.
Yeah.
Well, a tie was one of them, so they're
true.
even.
Even in that sense, but for the Gatemen, one of the big struggles has been these close games. This one, obviously, not a close game at all, but close games throughout. 1-run games, it's only been really this past couple weeks that they've been able to be successful in these close games.
1-1 to Bro is lined into right field, coming on Mets, but he'll have to play it on a hop. A 2-out single for Bro. His second hit of the game, both singles, 3rd time he has reached base. And that'll bring up another defensive replacement, Marty Bacchina, who early in the season was one of the top sluggers in the Cape. He had 7 home runs, what felt like the first 3 games of the season. It was really the first couple of weeks. Got a slot in the home run hitting contest, but has cooled off as of late.
Yeah, and it really was because he plays at Guy Fuller Field, where basically a fly ball out here would be a home run there. All of his home runs this season happening at home, so the stats not telling everything if you look at it just overall.
First pitch is upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. Murphy this year at Maryland, 17 appearances, a 2-0 record, a 1.71 ERA, 31 2/3 innings, 27 strikeouts, 8 walks. Opponents hit 183 against him. Coming in from the Cal Ripken League, the 1-0. Breaking ball on the inside part of the plate, called for a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike.
A young pitcher, and then definitely, obviously a rude awakening to the Cape League, but, a young pitcher from Maryland, who's been up and down as one of the top programs in the country. Past couple of years haven't been as good, but, definitely up there and definitely playing for a Big Ten school. It just says something about him.
The 1-1 pitch from Murphy is a breaking ball chopped foul off the left leg of Bacchina, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Murphy expected to be the University of Maryland's closer next year. Ryan Selmer, a Gateman in 2016, drafted by the Mets this year, was the closer at Maryland as well, back in 2015 and 2016.
Obviously, this not a closing situation at all, but just, Don Snett and Jim Lawler trying to get more pitchers that are just getting here some experience, possibly heading towards that playoff bid if they get it.
The 1-2 pitch, blocked in the dirt by Sable. Curveball that went to his right, but he's able to get out there and smother it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last year, the Gatemen had a similar loss to Falmouth at Gov Fuller Field. That was 12-1. And what was the cap on, I'll have to go back, but I believe a 6-game losing streak.
And this year's Gatemen topped that with a 7-game losing streak. Not exactly what you want to top, though.
2-2 drills Bro on the elbow pad on his left forearm, and he will reach base. So the Commodores get their second base runner in their last 2 batters. And that'll bring up number 6, Logan Davidson, the shortstop from Clemson. Talking to a couple of scouts out here on the Cape, they have become big fans of Davidson's bat. Needs some work with the glove. Did have 21 errors back at school. Has up near 8 or 9 on the Cape, but his bat has certainly impressed.
For scouts out here, if you have a good swing, they figure they can work on the defense and get you into a better defensive position.
First pitch from to Davidson is a changeup that he goes around. Half-hearted swing, no balls, and 1 strike.
Connor Federico mentioned he saw a lot of fans here that, probably not pleased with the result. Almost 1,000 tonight, 963 tonight at Spillane Field.
Great attendance.
Great attendance for not a great game, sadly.
The 0-1 to Davidson on its way. And the pitch is a curveball outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. One of the tough things for head coach Don Snedden when you have no replacements is not only that you can't have any in-game strategy, But you can't take any starters out of the game in a game like this, so they have to stay out there for all 9 innings. You can't prevent injury or something like that.
The only player they can put in is Cody Smith, and he at school played outfield, so he's not even, and the outfielders right now have been pretty good. Obviously a couple of fielding errors tonight, but overall hitting-wise, the outfielders have been pretty good. So you don't want to take them out, which makes it even tougher to possibly put Cody Smith in. However, I have heard that the pitchers do want Cody Smith to hit. Because if he gets a base hit, according to Noah Zavalos, the pitchers get BP.
BP!
That's all they want. They want Cody Smith in this game, and we'll see if he gets a chance to give the pitchers some fun at the plate.
1-2 to Logan Davidson is upstairs with the breaking ball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. I also don't think the College of Charleston Southern would take it very well if he was just thrown into a game with no reason whatsoever. He did come up here to pitch, after all.
Yeah, he did, and, has thrown a few games so far, and we expect to see him at least one more time probably in the next couple days in what is going to be now the biggest home-and-home series the Gatemen have played this season.
2-2 pitch is just a bit low. Missed middle, and the count runs to 3-2.
It's funny. 2 days ago, we're in Orleans, and the Gatemen win in Orleans, and we're, maybe this is a change. They have the 9 position players. This is something different about this team now. They're a little bit closer, but one loss like this, a win for Falmouth, could really just take the sails out of a team.
The 3-2 pitch is upstairs, and they're loaded up. You also have to wonder, of course, the Gatemen 9 players have pretty much played, even before Nick Angelini and Nate Flossnot left, one due to injury, one due to a family reason. These 9 guys were pretty much the everyday 9 guys, and you have to wonder whether they're just a little tired. Willie McIver's played every game except for one this year. Jaron Duran has played pretty much every game since he got here. Same thing with Robbie Metz. So every once in a while, you have to be able to mix in an off day, and right now they're just unable to do that.
And you met a couple guys that haven't necessarily been here the whole time. Ben Baird, who hasn't played necessarily every day, he now dealing with some shoulder issues. It's just constant. Doesn't seem like the injury bug can get away from the Wareham Gatemen, and other teams haven't nearly had this problem, and that's why they're a lot safer and already clinched playoff spots compared to the Gatemen, who they're fighting till the very last day.
First pitch to Adley Rutschman is a breaking ball. Strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. When you come to the Cape League, you always expect pitchers to have to leave early due to innings limits, or their coaches call and say that they've thrown too many innings, it's time to come home. You don't expect position players to have their season cut short, and of course the Gatemen this year have had that happen on numerous occasions. The 0-1 from Murphy is a curveball just upstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And now you have to think they're really lucky that head coach Don Sten happened to find Kyle Castor on Facebook, because you think about and that sounds a little funny, but right now you think about it, Kyle Castor's not in this game. 1, he's an all-star, but 2, if he's not in this game, now you don't have enough position players to even play the entire field.
Right. 1-1 from Murphy is swung on and missed, foul-tipped rather, into the glove of Blake Sable. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's not every day that you see your everyday second baseman or third baseman playing right field. But it's not every day that you just can't look to the bench to just say, hey, we need someone to kind of pick up the spirits right now, someone just a little replacement, and there's no one that can give a different look to these Falmouth pitchers. Falmouth's seen everyone. They know how they swing now, and there's no one on the bench that can give a different look.
1-2 from Rutschman on its way. Curveball in the dirt. Nice pick by Blake Sable. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Murphy showing a lot of movement on his pitches, not necessarily the location all great. He's been a little all over the place. Half his pitches have been beautiful strikes, and half of them have kind of been a little bit outside, but still a ton of movement that can get a lot of batters to chase, and that's why he's going to be the closer. It's not necessarily the speed on his pitches, but because he has the movement to get ground outs and swinging strikes.
2-2 to Rutschman. Line foul off the school and into the Falmouth Commodores broadcast well, or maybe just to the left of it, keeping them awake over there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count remains.
Yeah, this has been the hardest hit balls going off the high school today.
Yes.
The middle school, excuse me. Where one hit the school and bounced back on the field. Another hit the school, bounced in the stands. We haven't seen that too much this season.
Murphy standing at 6'4", 245 pounds, out of New Jersey. The 2-2. Ground ball to shortstop Ben Baird, fielded on the backhand, steps in, throws in time, and that retires the side. But the Commodores add 1 more run to their lead on a solo shot by Cameron O'Neill. Commodores up 12-0 as we head to the bottom of the 8th.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, Racial or sexist comments or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student-athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 17 seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for top-notch baseball training. With over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18 and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
Back here at Spillane Field as the Falmouth Commodores held a 12-0 lead. I'm Matt Feld alongside Matt Weasel there. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning, new pitcher for the Commodores is Brian Gatsby out of the University of California, Los Angeles. That's, of course, code for UCLA. And on the air, Gatsby 0-1 with a 6.63 ERA, 19 innings, 25 hits, 8 walks, 18 strikeouts. But he's definitely going to be someone the Commodores need to get going if they hope to claim their first championship in franchise history.
Yeah, and he also has had a little bit of issues against the Gatemen. 6.75 ERA in 4 games, 5 1/3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, a walk. He does have 3 strikeouts, so he's able to get some batters to swing a little bit on his stuff, but he's had some issues with a little bit of not the conventional delivery that we're used to by most pitchers, such as when we just saw John Murphy coming a little from the side.
Yeah, snaps his wrist off behind his back and then fires home. Mirrors Zach Pop out of Kentucky, who pitched up here for the Gatemen last summer. And Gatsby seems to be having some similar problems that Pop had. When he's on, his velocity is so difficult to pick up because of the way that his ball comes out of his hand that it's almost impossible to hit. He's got 18 strikeouts in 19 innings. When that's not the case, control issues can happen, and 25 hits to go with it over those 19 innings. The Commodores having some tough luck with regards to pitchers going home. When you scroll down the list, Tyler Blom has gone home. Durbin Feltman has gone home. Cole Sands, goodbye. And that leaves, of course, Ryan Zefferjon, their big-time closer. Mitchell Miller has left. Matt Mercer out of Oregon, their stud, has left. So the Gatemen, who lost their top 4 starters, Commodores feeling some similar pain, but only one team so far feeling the pain on the scoreboard.
And the difference really is they're losing the pitchers, but they're not losing the batters necessarily. Alec Baum is currently ailing an injury. They're hoping to get him back for the playoffs. But the offense for Falmouth, they haven't really lost any of their starters compared to the Gatemen, who you look across the field, and it's a little nice little pick and pluck whoever you put out there for anyone to just get at-bats and hopefully driving runs.
First pitch to Stephen Kwan is an off-speed pitch outside, 1-0. Kwan 0 for 2 on the day with a walk. 1-0 pitch is a strike as we see Gatsby drop down to that submarine-style delivery that he'll occasionally whip out. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 from Gatsby. Submarine is hit in the air down the left field line. Giving chase is Watson, and that ball is just foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
The scouting report on Gatsby, he doesn't technically have any sinking stuff, but really is his arm angle just changing, and it changes the spin and motion of the ball. It makes it difficult for batters to kind of pick up on, because usually when you're facing a pitcher, you got one arm angle, and after a while you can kind of pick up on it and see where the pitches are coming from. With Gatsby, not so much.
Gatsby has given the Gatemen some trouble so far this year, as you mentioned. And Kwan stepping in. Down in the count, 1-2. Gatsby sets, and the 1-2. Hit on the ground to shortstop. Logan Davidson sets, throws, fires, and he gets Kwan by a stride for the first out of the bottom of the 8th, and Kwan is retired for the 3rd time today.
And the big game that the Gatemen are watching, besides the one here at Spillane Field, was the one in Hyannis between the Harbor Hawks and the Harwich Mariners. That one just went final. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks an 8-6 win. Harwich got up to a 4-0 lead, but the Mariners have struggled all season long. It's a reason that they were the first team eliminated from the playoffs in the CCBL. And Hyannis, they've struggled this year, but able to get some offense going, especially in the 6th inning. 5 runs to take the lead, and that was all they needed.
Going to be an interesting dichotomy over the next couple of days. The Braves are on a 5-game losing streak coming into the home-and-home series with the Gatemen to finish the year. As the 0-1 to Robbie Metz swung on and missed on a slider. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the Falmouth Commodores 4-0 against Hyannis this year as they play their final 2 games of the season. Now, Bourne and Wareham always play each other close, no matter what. I'm going to take a bet that it is, as the 0-2 is swung on and missed, gets away from the catcher Rutschman, who sets his feet, throws in time to retire Metz. 2 out and nobody on. There is a better chance that Falmouth beats Hyannis at least one of those 2 games than there is that the Gatemen win either of those games against Bourne. Not to say the Gatemen can't win both. They've already swept a home and home, but Falmouth seems to have just pure dominance on the Harbor Hawks.
And Falmouth, and same with the Gatemen. You know, we mentioned that if the result stands, the Gatemen are about to be 1-4-1 against Falmouth, and they've just had a ton of trouble all season long with the Commodores. You know, with the Bourne Braves, they have a little bit better chance because they just play them a little better. For whatever reason, you know, sometimes just teams play teams better. We were talking the other day to Griffin Conine of Catuit, and he's mentioned, hey, look, I struggle against Orleans. 1 for 16 against Orleans this season. Can't explain why, but hey, look, some teams just play each other better. For the Gatemen, playing Falmouth has been a struggle. Bourne, not as much.
The 0-1 to Kasser is outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. And you know if you're the Gatemen, you do not want it to come down to the final day of the season. That's a lot of pressure.
No, Grant Wolfram and Will Neely are both walking around doing the 50-50 raffle. Came in here a couple times asking me what the score was, and I just told, and you know what their stuff is, and for them to possibly make the playoffs, and I just told them, hey, look, control your own destiny. And they kind of looked a little reassured by that, knowing that they did have a little bit of control over the results, whether they make the playoffs or not. But it doesn't help when you are looking at the other team behind you and saying, if we don't win, they're going to take our spot.
2-1 pitches outside, 3 balls. And
obviously, it's a grind for all these players, from all the way back in fall ball, winter ball, playing a full season, now back in the CCBL. You want to come out with a title just to be a little redemption for the entire year.
3-1 is hit on the ground to second. Cameron O'Neill makes a clean throw to first in time, and that retires the side. Nothing aside for cross for the Gatemen in the bottom of the 8th inning. We head to the 9th inning. Commodores up 12.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen High School Clinics. These programs are run by the Gatemen coaching staff with a focus on exposing high school area players to the college game. To sign up for either the hitting, pitching, or catching camps, visit www.gatemen.org for more information.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day. Like their hand-breaded crispy fish tacos with cilantro lime rice. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Tristan Pompey has been officially replaced. There's a new number 15 in town from Delaware State, the new pitcher for the Gatemen.
Darian Reagans, welcome to Wareham, young fella. You come in with a game that just has not gone the Gatemen's way tonight. You're not being welcomed to Wareham with the kindest respects, but hey, you can work on your game here in this 12-0 game right now, and you're going to face the 8-9-1 batters tonight for the Falmouth Commodores. Watson, of course, coming up right now, had the home run in the 6th, and that was probably the last chance the Gatemen had to make a comeback in the bottom of the inning, but to no avail.
Connor Federico, Jacob Toby back on the broadcast with you. I leave for 1 inning, and Matt Feld steals my only what would have been my only diving catch of the entire summer.
I can't believe that. But
For the Gatemen. For the Gatemen. For other teams, they've been all right. Ground ball, Baird up the middle. It goes into the outfield. Watson. Man, this it's not looking good. 12-0.
That'll be a base hit.
Deservingly so. Maybe if Montgomery was on the mound, he would have had the height. Reagan, on the other hand, does not. Had a good summer for the New Bedford Bay Sox, but now here with the Gatemen.
Wonder if he was there when the Gatemen traveled all the way back at the beginning of the season.
I couldn't tell you. There was one member of the Gatemen at that point, and it was Brad Case, who was a temp on the Wareham squad, traveled to New Bedford, was eventually released and picked up by the Bay Sox, became a NECBL All-Star. Bloop shot over the head of Kasser. Watson rounds second and stays there. 2 hits here in the ninth. That one by Steinmetz.
The second baseman, number 13.
So you let up 2 singles to the 8 and 9 hitters. I would say Steinmetz has had a very good day so far. Couple doubles, run scored, another single. But now you're going to face a pinch hitter here. Cam O'Neill.
High fly to center. Quan. He's got it this time. That's the first out. Runners retreat.
I apologize. Cam O'Neill came in the 8th.
Designated hitter
Hit the
number
jack.
7, Austin Langworthy.
For some reason, he came up on this sheet as number 1.
Well,
he's number 13.
That is wrong.
Who made the stat sheets today?
One Sam Corman.
The only person to have trouble with stat sheets this season.
I do have to admit, I had one mistake at the beginning of the season. The numbers were not showing up.
Oh, so did I. I did that too.
Okay, so we're all even then. Well,
you and I are even.
I wonder what he would say if he heard us talking about him right now.
He'd totally admit it.
I think he's playing catch with someone up there.
Ground ball to Kasser to Duran, and Duran holds on to it, 2 away. Yeah, there's no way that Sam is still broadcasting this game. If he goes all 9 innings, I'd be very impressed.
Oh, I think he's.
Number 29, Trevor.
You think he's going? I think he's just playing catch with someone up there, with a little kid perhaps.
Oh, no, you're right. He is. That is him.
Yeah.
Or is that? Oh, no. Nick, our producer, is sitting up there. Big curveball. Like that pitch a lot. Good hustle by the Bat Boys late in this game. 12-0 Falmouth. That pitch has a ton of movement on it. Looks great. Runners on first and third. 1 pitch away from ending the top of the 9th. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's how the top of the 9th ends. 2 runners stranded. We'll head to the bottom. Can the Gatemen make this 12-X? Anything besides 0? We'll see on the other side on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Baseball Factory, which has proudly supported the Cape Cod League for 17 seasons, conducts baseball training, tournaments, and showcases at over 600 events nationwide, providing players with world-class instruction. The Baseball Factory program leads to future success both on and off the field for players aged 8 to 18. Learn more at baseballfactory.com.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare. Expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Well, 12-0, Falmouth has a lead, so they bring in number 7, their 2-hitter and DH, Austin Langworthy, to pitch the 9th.
Why not?
Over-under on Gatemen runs this inning, set at
2.
2. I'll take the under if you want the over.
Sure.
Have a friendly bet. Bet you a nickel. Ground ball on the first pitch, base hit. Good start for Langworthy.
Good start for me.
Jaron Duran stretching and turning that one into a double. Probably be a single with an error. We'll see what our Alec Pereira says. He rules it a double.
14, John Topa from UConn.
Which of these current Boston Red Sox players did not play in the Cape League? Well, this was last year's poll, but it still counts for this year. Travis Shaw, who's not on the team, but we'll still count him. Stephen Wright, Jackie Bradley Jr., Dustin Pedroia.
I know JBJ did.
With who, by the way?
Oh, Chatham?
No.
Oh.
Hyannis.
No. I'll tell you what, they could use a little JBJ this summer, the Harbor Hawks.
So then you're down to Travis Shaw, Stephen Wright, Dustin Pedroia.
Well, I mean, just my thinking on this is if Pedroia played in the Cape, no one would ever not talk about it. That's all people would talk about. Topa check swings. Yes, he did. 1-1. So Pedroia did not play in the Cape.
You are correct, sir.
On the Cape. Oh, my goodness. I apologize. Jacob, I'm so sorry.
Which of these Major League Hall of Famers did not play in the Cape? Ricky Henderson, Carlton Fisk, Frank Thomas, Thurman Munson.
I know Frank Thomas did. He hit a home run to center at Eldridge, as the legend goes. Duran takes third. That one gets under the legs of Rutschman. I don't know. I don't.
Guess.
I'll take Thurman. Give me a Yankee.
Oh, come on.
Oh, he played here?
Thurman Munson Batting Title Award. That's the award.
Oh, my goodness. I'm not smart.
Ricky Henderson. The answer.
Topa takes strike 2.
You know this one. Which Cape League team has won the most league championships?
Cotuit.
Cotuit.
Cotuit. Cotuit.
Former Major Leaguer Corey Snyder currently holds the record for most home runs in a Cape League season. How many did he hit? 17, 20, 22, 25.
22.
Correct.
Bingo.
Oh, here we go. This is a good one. In 2000, Team USA came to Chatham to play the Cape League All-Stars. It was the largest crowd to ever see a Cape League game. What was the estimated attendance? 5, 8, 9, or 10,000?
Ground ball. This will score Duran. The Gatemen have a run. The deficit is 11. And the Six Flags music plays throughout Wareham. It's a grand celebration. The Gatemen trail 12-1. You know that's a real song?
Of course.
The first baseman, number 16, Jake and
regards to your trivia question, well, it's certainly not 5,000 because we just got 7,000. That means it's not 7,000, and it 7,000 wasn't an option.
No,
it wasn't 8,000. It wasn't 9,000. Give me 10K. Got it. Bingo.
Wow.
Ding ding.
You were right.
Just want to acknowledge Jacob was playing this trivia during our last break. And what question did you get wrong? I think it was what year the Cape League was founded. Line shot by Anchia. And the new left fielder, Cam O'Neill, makes the play. Langworthy tips his cap. That's where he spent the first 8 innings.
The designated hitter, number 17, Willie McIver from Washington.
So Matt Feld and Matt Wieselthier were here on the broadcast before. Matt Feld mentioned that the Gatemen lost 12-1 last summer against Falmouth. History seems to be repeating itself, unless Willie McIver can crank one off of Langworthy. You like this move from Jeff Trundy? Jeff Trundy, is this bragging? Is this disrespectful? Is this... And that's it. McIver throws his bat in the dirt. And the Gatemen lose 12-1 to the Falmouth Commodores. They'll have to wait another day to clinch a West Division playoff spot. This loss hurts.
Falmouth Commodores defeat the Wareham Gatemen by a score of 12-1. Totals first for the Commodores.
Thank you for listening to this broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. The general manager of the Wareham Gatemen is Andrew Lang. The producers of today's broadcast are Matthew Wieselthayer. Our sideline reporter is Claudia Chikamian. The next broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball will be tomorrow as the Gatemen look to make a game competitive against the Bourne Braves for their final home-and-home series of the season. This game starts at 6 p.m. Our coverage begins at 5:30 with Gatemen Pregame Live. For Jacob Toby, I'm Connor Federico. Thanks for tuning in to this presentation of the Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Good night.